Hi, and welcome to Salesforce's Release Readiness Live for Spring 17. Thanks for joining us, whether you found us in the beginning of your day, the end of it, or anything in between. I'm Mike Torres, and it's great to be here as we take a look into some of the greatest features and developments that Salesforce's Service Cloud has to offer. Now, as a final point before we get into the presentations, we are going to be looking at some of our roadmap items today. So to properly set our expectations there, let's review Salesforce's forward-looking statement slide. Now, if there's anybody who's unfamiliar with this slide, it urges Salesforce customers to remember that Salesforce is a publicly traded company and that any and all purchasing decisions should be made on currently available functionality only. Great. So without any further delay from myself, I'd like to hand things over to Gautam so we can get and meet the teams.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, folks. My name is Gautam Vasudev. I'm a product manager with the Service Cloud team. I've been with Salesforce for close to 9 years now, and today I'm going to be talking all about Lightning Service, which is Service Cloud reimagined natively in Lightning. So with that, let's get into Lightning Service. And for a lot of folks online, this is going to be your first introduction to Lightning and Service Cloud in Lightning. This has been a conversation that's been happening for some time. Lightning is a big investment strategy for Salesforce in general, and Service Cloud is coming to Lightning in a big way. Now, what that means is that we are bringing forward all of those capabilities in Salesforce Classic that are Service Cloud related, like the console, like the footer, keyboard shortcuts, macros, etc., all to Lightning, but we are keeping all the goodness of what we've learned from Classic. So as I walk you through what this Lightning experience looks like, you'll notice things that are very familiar. You'll know the console, you'll know the case feed. In addition, not only have we had the opportunity to bring forward the best of Salesforce Classic and Service Cloud to Lightning, we also get the opportunity to leverage all of the goodness of Lightning itself. Things like Lightning, the design system, the Aura data services, S1, all of this now starts coming to Salesforce Service Cloud in a manner that wasn't available to us when we were in just Classic. We also have new components like the history and the notes components. On the case management side, I'm going to walk you through in just a few minutes about the new case feed, as well as the Lightning App Builder, which allows you to drag and drop components onto the layout. So there's a new reimagined layout system. Along with that, we also have new components. You might have been familiar with the related record and the lookup components in Salesforce Classic. Well, we've got them in Lightning, and they're more powerful than ever. And this is what I really want to impress upon everyone watching today. Lightning Service is going to be the future home for everything Service Cloud, and we've had a really strong start to it with the Spring 17 release. So without further ado, let's get into the demo and go through what this looks like. So switching over to the demo, you can see here that I have my screen up showing me case 1004. And this case is about an application or an appliance, a microwave, in fact. And you can see I have the case subject up here, but I also have the case details on the left-hand side. For folks who use the console today, you'll find this layout very familiar. I have my case details on the left. Of course, they're inline editable, so I can go ahead and change these values. Below, I have contact details, and once again, this is inline editable as well. I can also associate and disassociate the contact from the case here. So if I had to look up the contact again, Katie Miller can be found easily. I can also quick create a contact from this component. And I'll go into the details of what these components are in just a bit. Below the contact details, you can also see other cases from this contact. Now, this is a powerful component that you're looking at here. It's the related list component, but it's enhanced to show you not just information from case-related lists, but you can point this component to any surrounding information around the case. So you can get related lists from not just from the case, but also from the contact, the account, the assets. This is really powerful for getting information like what are the latest set of bills that a contact might have, what are the assets that a contact owns, and show them right alongside that case detail. In the center here, you can see our case feed. We will, of course, continue to work on the case feed to bring it to where the case feed is in Classic today, and we will go even further. But you have all the elements that you are familiar with, like the email response publisher, the default email templates that are available in the email response publisher, the post and the social publishers as well. And for those of you who are focused on using the case details that you are familiar with from Classic, that, of course, is available as well with full inline edit capabilities. On the right-hand side, we have our knowledge component. And you can see this is, of course, reacting to the details on the case. And we have related lists that are on the case as well. You can see I have a file that's attached to this case. So everything that you know and love from Classic showing up in Lightning. Now let me go to the next level about what's only in Lightning, hashtag only in Lightning. So for a lot of you, I'm sure you've looked at our blogs and seen that in the world of Classic, you actually had to create your own notes component. This is something that a lot of customers had put in place. Well, in the world of Lightning, notes comes out of the box. So you can go ahead and create your notes. It's easy enough. There's a notes composer that comes on. You can add notes all the time. Along with that, we retain the history component. However, the history component, there's an added benefit in the world of Lightning, which is that the history component is updated real time. So if I move between items, you can see that the list in the history component is reflecting what I accessed last, versus in Classic, it reflected what I opened last. So just minor usability distinctions for which we had received a lot of feedback on. In addition to that, my case list view also now has Kanban. So if I go to the case, now I can start seeing this visual presentation of where my case statuses are. You can organize the Kanban view not just by case status, but also by priority. So there's this real power behind very quickly allowing agents to see where cases need attention. Along with that, I want to show you something that we are so excited about. If I go to our Lightning service setup, this is a specific home just for service admins. We've received so much feedback about customers who want to get up and running with Service Cloud, and we have so much capability, so it becomes a little complex. There are a lot of steps involved in various locations. So we've simplified the node as a start, the set of nodes as a starting point, so that you're only looking at setup nodes that are related with service. In addition to that, we now have what we call Lightning setup flows, which allow you to set up service features very quickly. For example, if you had to set up a social channel, you can now go through the setup flow, which is a basic 3 to 4 step process, and it's closed loop. So not only does it help you set up, it'll actually test the setup so that you can exit the Lightning setup flow with confidence, knowing that your channel is now ready for action. We also have contextual help alongside, which will tell you more and more about how you can get to completeness in your Service Cloud deployment. And of course, we have now dashboards, which are going to tell you a little bit about the health of your service organization and also the health of your agent activity within that space. But it doesn't end there. Lightning gets us a lot more. I'm going to show you something that I personally have found very exciting, which is the Lightning App Builder. I walked you through the case setup. Well, let me show you how you lay this out in Lightning. And it's as simple as drag and drop. We walked through the case details on the left-hand side and the contact details below that. Well, this is how you set it up. It's as easy as dragging components. The particular component that we were pointing to earlier was the related record component. And I've dragged it on from the App Builder components screen. And here, I can just point it easily to the contact. I could also point this lookup component or related record component to the account. So I'm sure you can start seeing the power of this capability, where you can have these very rich layouts to provide your agents with the best 360 as soon as they glance at the case. It's the same for the knowledge sidebar and the related list components. But keep in mind, folks, you can also point these related lists to objects that are related to the case. So here you're looking at a related list, but the related list isn't coming from the case. It's actually coming from the case's contact. And I could have done the same thing for the case's account. So I could have seen other cases from this account. This gives you a sense of how flexible the Lightning layout system or the Lightning App Builder is. Now, I've gone through a lot. I'll end with one last nifty piece of functionality, which is the Lightning App Manager. In Lightning, apps are available in the App Manager, and the particular app that we were working with is the Lightning Service app. Now, this is a default app which we made very easy to access. So everyone with a Service Cloud license immediately is going to see this with Spring 17. And the reason we did this was we just wanted to have no barriers in allowing customers to experience this new Lightning service. And when you go to the App Manager, you can see that down here, where previously we had in Classic footers and footer components, we've brought all of that together in what we call the utility bar sections. And you can see where our definition of the history and notes component is now. So I can rename the history component. I can define where the notes components go and the order of that. So a lot of power coming to you with Lightning. Of course, there's some ways to go, and I'll speak to that in the roadmap session. So let me switch back to slides here. And I'd gone through a number of capabilities in our demo, including new components like the related related record, the Kanban view, the history component, the utility bar. I'd also mentioned knowledge. Folks, I want to highlight one of the things that I find myself looking forward to the most around Lightning, which is that we are simplifying the data model in Lightning. I'm sure a lot of you have felt passionate about the special nature of knowledge in Lightning, in Classic. We are going to make knowledge a first-class citizen of Salesforce, which means that you start getting all of these platform features which our customers have been asking for some time, like record types, like a knowledge list view that is standard to compared to all the other Salesforce objects, a knowledge record home. You will also be able to start laying out knowledge pages with the Lightning App Builder. So that's going to make it so easy to design rich and interactive knowledge pages. And of course, we are retiring so many knowledge ideas with this 16,000 ideas.
It's a lot of
idea points.
Yeah.
So I've gone through all of the exciting news that's coming out with Lightning Service, but here's my caveat. There is a long way to go. Classic Service Cloud had a lot of capabilities, not just around the console and case management like keyboard shortcuts, macros, console integration toolkit, but also with Live Agent, Omni, and so much more. If you're interested in where Lightning Service is going, go to Google, search for Lightning roadmap, and there's this handy website where we actually list out what's coming up over the next 3 releases. I would highly encourage everyone to check it out.
Great.
So with that, let's turn it over to questions, Mike.
Excellent. Elna, Gautam just shared a lot of exciting things for our customers. What do you see them saying?
It is awesome. And Reba, it was saying that she can really see service supervisors using the Kanban. So it's great to have use cases, right? Like how do we use Kanban? And she can see them using it just on the fly, just to kind of see what's going on with the agent.
Absolutely.
Any other use cases that you could think of for Kanban?
Yeah, I think from an agent perspective, as a starting point for the day, Kanban is pretty useful because you can toggle back and forth between the list view and the Kanban view. And sometimes just to get a higher level sense of what is my daily activity today, how much do I have to cover for my shift perhaps, that Kanban view is really a good visual to get that summary.
Great. Okay, so new question from Kimberly. She's asking, what are the benefits of using notes versus case comments? Great question.
So great question. Notes are not associated with just a case. Notes can be global as well. So for example, you could have a note along the lines of feed the cat, because it's something that agents will refer to all the time. It's this handy tool to keep track of the personal notes that you need. It doesn't have a compliance aspect to it. If you need something that is tied to a case, that is necessarily reflected on the case body, you definitely want to go with case comments. I'll add one more point. Notes can be associated with both a who and a what. So notes can be associated with, notes can be associated with a who or a what. So notes can be associated with cases. But once again, that compliance aspect is not there. So if you want to make sure that your conversations on a case are captured on the case, stick with either the feed comments or the case comments on a case.
Great suggestion, thanks. So now I noticed you mentioned Lightning Service is in beta. So if a lot of times customers don't quite know how to get access when something's in beta, so if you could just go over that real quick.
Absolutely. Another great question, because we are very, very eager to get feedback on Lightning service, and we had a lot of internal discussions about whether we should call this beta or not. We think we've gotten to a very good spot with our launch. In fact, our focus was primarily on SMB use cases. We wanted to hit a sweet spot where customers with high volumes but more simple case management and knowledge management needs would be very successful. We definitely feel we've gotten there. So I would encourage customers to explore. And the way to explore this beta is just to go to Lightning, go to the app launcher, and there's a little tile there that says Lightning Service. That's all you need. You don't need to reach out to Salesforce. There is no special permission. Of course, an admin has to enable the Lightning experience. But once that's done, everyone with a Service Cloud license gets access to Lightning Service. And that's how we intend all of our setup to be. We just want to remove some of the obstacles that we've traditionally had with enablement for Service Cloud features and admin processes.